This is the latest video from the punk band Slow, who even Expo advertised as, quote, untamed young performers brilliantly out of control. Witnesses at the Xerox International Theatre last night say the lead singer Tom mooned the audience, and bass player Steve dropped his drawers at least partially. There was also some anti-Bennett talk between songs. Police escorted Slow off the site, and Expo decided to cancel the next band, Poisoned, for reasons of crowd control and safety. However, the teenagers on hand received no explanation and marched on the nearby BCTV pavilion.
Expo justice! Expo justice! Expo justice!
The CTV affiliate would not open its doors, shorten its newscast because of the noise outside, and started the movie Rock and Roll High School early when the real thing was happening on their doorstep.
We want an explanation for the cancellation of the concert!
Tom, the main singer, he pulled down his pants. And so the cops got mad, and so they were going to cancel the rest of the shows because they thought the other groups were going to do the same thing.
100.5.
Just a second. Let's try that again, shall we?
Oh, was that dead air?
Yeah.
You're listening to Bad Vibes on CFRO 100.5 FM. We just heard Fleetwood Mac, and before that was Trooper. Oh, wait. Oh, did you want to introduce those songs?
Yeah, so that one was called Burn You by Wire Spine, and they're a local Vancouver band that are really good.
Okay, so it wasn't Fleetwood Mac and then Trooper.
No, you're...
I'm thinking of a different radio station.
Sensational Alex Harvey Band. Oh, I'm listening to BBC Six now. Okay.
All right, well, we got our special Christmas guest here, the wonderful Stephen Hamm, who plays in a lot of bands. let's rattle them off now. There's the Evaporators.
Yeah.
Fleetwood Mac, Trooper.
Yeah.
No. What are
the
they?
new Reformed Yes. I'm really excited about that.
You're in the Reformed Yes?
I'm in the Reformed Yes. That's going to be really good. That's, yeah. Anyhow, we're bringing in a few guys back from because Chris Squire's dead, so they need a new bass player,
Wow.
Yeah, I know, right?
You know the name of the bass player of Yes. Wow.
I'm old school. Old school, man.
Wow. I couldn't even name you a Yes song.
Roundabout.
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't.
that was the wrong mark.
Yeah.
That wasn't an invitation to name Yes songs. So, Ham, you
Topographical oceans beneath.
Yes songs.
Ham, you were okay. Vanessa and I were we're really crappy about Christmas. We don't like Christmas music,
right?
So we weren't going to play any really.
Thank God there's a canned ham Christmas record.
I like canned ham.
Then you can play Christmas songs.
Yeah, rum and eggnog. I actually played that for somebody the other day,
right?
And they were like, "This is the worst thing ever." And
exactly.
Like, this is the best Christmas song ever.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Where are you from?
Should we hear that right now?
Oh, can we do it? Yes.
Yeah, let's hear this.
Let's kick the season off.
Yeah, let's if people disagree with me,
can you call in? Can you call in and tell us how great the song is?
Just disagree with them. Don't kill them.
What? I don't know. I think it's one of the finest Christmas songs ever written. So here it is, rum and eggnog.
You say something?
I said something, yep.
What did you say, man? You say something?
I'll tell you what I said.
What did you say?
I said...
What'd you say? What'd you say?
Rum and eggnog. Eggnog and rum. Where you from?
What he said, man. What he said from?
Rum and eggnog.
Eggnog and rum. Where you from?
Where you from?
Rum is for pirates, eggs are from chickens. You put them together and it's straight out of Dickens. Rum and eggnog, eggnog and rum. Where you from? A doody-doo, my sweet Adelaide. Say rum and eggnog, eggnog and rum. Where you from? From my mom.
Where I'm from, my mom.
Hopping in the sleigh. We're going for a ride. DUI on the U-side. Rum, eggnog, eggnog. I just gotta find my footing. Rum and eggnog, eggnog and rum. Where are you from? Rubber bum. Red and green are swirling together. I just threw up on my nice Christmas sweater. Did rum and eggnog. That's the name of the song. Hey, sing the song. Eggnog and rum. Where you from? It's your turn. Let me lay my head in your lap for a while. Or maybe I'll just rest on this cold bathroom tile. Eggnog, eggnog and rum. Where you from? I'm gonna lay down there. Who's that? You don't you get thrown out of here if they see us sleeping. No, you want to get thrown out of here. It's late. You don't want to get thrown out of here.
That is amazing.
There's no waitress at our house.
I noticed that song is one note.
There's no waitress at our
one note. Yeah,
there's no waitress at our house. There's no waitress.
I love how it just keeps going on. You know what it reminds me is I used to live in the Maritimes. It's like it's a maritime Christmas song.
Thank you.
What does that mean? Nothing's happening?
No, everyone's drunk and violent there.
There's a lot happening and nothing happening all at the same time in that song.
Yeah, no, that's brilliant. I think it was was there more than one note in that song? It was
no, there's one note.
Riding that one note.
Yeah, it's right. Yeah, you're just built with note. That's right? Great. Just like trying to you're just going to keep your eye on the road and try not to veer off into the ditch. That's what that song's about, in your sleigh.
Well, what happened to Canned Ham?
Canned Ham still rears its head every once in a while. Lil Hamm, a.k.a. Robert Dayton, is in Toronto these days, and he's doing stuff out there. And I think we may do some stuff in 2016. But
really,
we meet up every once in a while. We did a Christmas show every year for like 5 or 6 years.
You guys were touring around, and you got pretty big. I mean, I remember I was living in L.A.
Yeah, you were in L.A. at the time. Yeah.
You made your way down there, and you were
to no one. Yeah, it was good. But we played what?
Yeah, I know that was terrible. I'd always have friends of mine coming down, like the Spitfires,
right?
You know, and I'd be the only person there in the audience.
Thank you for coming.
No, there were people there.
Yeah, there were people there, and we played at the Knitting Factory a bunch of times with Neil Hamburger, and that was good.
Yes, and that's not a bad venue.
That's a nice venue. I like that place.
That's kind of a classy thing.
But I mean, nice, yeah.
Canned Ham was especially big in Quebec, though, wasn't it?
There was a show called Dollar a Clip in Quebec, which was kind of like, I don't know if you remember back on Much Music, they had like that fromage. Every year they'd have the worst.
Oh, fromage.
Right, the video or something. Yeah, and they'd play the worst videos of the year. But in Quebec, they turned it into a whole series. And and it was just like, videos from the vault they would dig up. There was a guy, the biggest guy was, I forget the guy's name, but he had a song called Boys and Girls, and he was a number one, but for some reason they found the Canned Ham father and son video, and it became like the number 2 played video on Music Plus.
Oh wow! And you guys were really huge in Quebec.
We were really huge, but it was completely impenetrable. Right. Quebec is an impenetrable, deep woods kind of a culture that
Right, because I found like Americans didn't quite get your humor. They don't.
There were places they got our humor, and they got our humor on the East Coast.
On the East Coast,
they really got it.
West Coast, they
didn't quite
stare
get
at you blindly. Yeah. Don't understand irony. And
exactly. Yeah.
I think we should take a moment to listen to Father, Son, and Holy Ghost.
Yeah, they were on the. Okay. Well, this is the Christmas, Sincerely Christmas, which, ladies and gentlemen, you can buy on iTunes and Bandcamp as well, I believe. But we did a special, the song Father and Son that was a big hit in Quebec. We did a Christmas version, and here it is.
Oh wow! Here we go.
Makes it better than the original. There's nothing so fine as Father, Son, and Holy Ghost united in business together, spending their time doing their work, sticking through fair and ill weather. It can be tough to balance figures. This is no pancake breakfast. Can't you see they have an office? Father, Son, and Holy Ghost getting things done. Do-do-do-do, do-do-do-do, do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Balance figures. This is no pancake breakfast. Can't you see they have an office? Father, Son, and Holy Ghost getting things done. Father, Son, Holy Ghost. 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 Father, Son, getting things done. There's nothing so fine as Father, Son, and Holy Ghost united in business together. Father, Son, and Holy Ghost.
Wow.
That's some filler, eh? That's some album filler.
You're listening to Bad Vibes, CFRO, 100.FM.
105 FM.
How many numbers did I just list off?
105.
0.5.
It's 100.5.
Whatever.
That's your frequency.
We're here with.
Then you're not listening to it.
We're here with Vanessa Turner. Say hi, Vanessa.
Hey.
And our special guest, Ham.
Hi.
Stephen Ham, sorry.
Merry
From
Christmas,
Canned
everyone.
Ham. And and he's telling us about Christmas time miracles.
I got a herpes sore for Christmas. What do you guys get?
I actually wanted.
Is that what you asked like Santa Claus?
It's on my lip.
I actually really wanted a lump of coal.
Did you?
Yes, and that's what I got.
Oh, that's good.
Trying to do pollute the planet?
Also, there was my other Christmas time miracle was I was actually looking for my snowshoes, right?
Yeah.
And I looked in the closet, and there they were, gone.
You had snowshoes and they're gone?
Yeah, never mind.
Oh.
But your lineage in Vancouver rock and roll.
Oh, here we go. Yes.
Have you listened to my podcasts or anything? Oh,
yes.
Okay.
You listen. I tried to whore myself with what are you going to do?
Yes.
My podcast.
Okay. Well, yes. See, this is the thing.
Yeah.
You are actually responsible for my podcasting career, and then broadcasting career, because I went onto your
and
podcast,
saved our asses,
and then saw you and Terry were sitting there, and it was like this. I was like, wow, this is perfect work for a slacker like me.
Right?
They're doing nothing. They just sit there and talk.
What do you want to do? Nothing. Well, let's get Marc to come in and do the show. Yeah, that's a good idea.
So then I did my podcast, which led to this broadcast.
That's fantastic.
He said, Marc, I got a show. I want to do this. So eventually, we're alternating on Wednesdays here.
Oh, okay, that's what's going on. Because you do a show, you do the Real Vancouver. Yeah, Real Vancouver.
But what I wanted to ask was, what happened with the what am I going to do?
Well, what are you going to do podcasts? Which are up? They're all up, by the way, on at whatayougonnaDo.com. WADAGO. It's first thing is the name is. I think the name was good, but actually getting the the URL going on, it's hard to to get it. What do you do? What are you going to do, right? And you have to spell that out into your computer and then put a .com on it, and then you get to the podcast
stuff, right?
Yeah, exactly. So it's kind of that was a lesson. We were trying to learn how to do a podcast, and we're trying to learn how to do life, and ask our friends how you do life, and how do you what's everyone else doing, so we could try and maybe sponge off them.
The premise of the whole thing was two guys closing in on middle age, trying to figure out what to
do with their lives, and asking helping out everyone else.
Right. And I was talking to a friend of mine and said that was a very solid concept for a podcast.
Yes.
And then he was like, what happened to those guys? They haven't been doing it.
Well, we did it for 1 year. I said, okay, Terry, I'll do it for 1 year. And then, so we did it for 1 year. We did like 56 episodes or something. We did a lot of it. And I just was like, okay, I did what I said I would do. And like, it didn't take off and become like the next, Marc Maron podcast. It's like Terry was hoping it would do. And so I was like, okay, well, I've done my year. And
was Marc Maron an influence for you guys?
Yeah, I think it was very, very much was.
So you were looking at that.
Well, Terry was like, wow, he had no career, and then he did a podcast, and now he has a career. Maybe that can work for me. I think it was like a lot of what the fuck was or WTF or whatever was a inspiration to Terry. And then he was like, you want to do it with me because you have a computer and the ability to record stuff. And I was like, yeah, that would be fun. So we did it for a year, and it was fun. And I would like to do more, but as you guys know, it's a lot of work.
It was. I've only done one live, and I was like, fuck this.
Right. Yeah, no, I know. Excuse us. Oh, the lights are going off here.
Phones are ringing. Lawsuits are coming.
It's a CRTC.
Right.
Yeah, this makes sense. So we come into a radio station and do it like this. You got the equipment's already set up.
Right. Yeah. Because I was editing the stuff to try to get.
It's hard work, eh?
It was
sorry.
But what did you? Were there any answers? I mean, did you guys figure out anything?
Well, I learned that it's a lot of work to do. It's a lot of work to do podcasts. So there's a lot of, like as you said, a lot of editing goes into it. What did I learn? I learned that no one's really got this figured out. Not this life that we live, this world we live in. Not that I expected anyone to have it figured out, or was expecting to have any giant truths revealed to me, but yeah, it's just we're all sort of doing our thing. It was what was good about it was sort of like it. I mean, we got to hang out with you for an hour and shoot the bleep, and Chris Walters or Grant. What's his name? Grant. The guy, the CBC guy, Grant Lawrence, and we got to find out who would come on our podcast and who wouldn't come on our podcast. So ultimately,
what you figured out is what you're not going to do.
Yeah, a lot of it. Yeah, exactly.
It took 58 episodes.
That being said, I would like to do another podcast.
And what we're not going to do is podcast.
Yeah, exactly. Cross that one off.
In that case, let's play some Christmas music from Hamlin or something.
Well, speaking of that, let's. I suggest speaking of Terry Russell, my co-host.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so also going back to Canned Ham, we have the Canned Ham Christmas album, Sincerely Christmas, which you need to have for the Christmas season, folks. If you hate Christmas, even if you love Christmas, you need Sincerely Christmas. Terry, my co-host on What Are You Gonna Do, played the role of little baby Jesus in Canned Ham.
He played it amazingly.
He basically
should have got an Oscar.
A chubby dude in diapers doing yo-yo tricks, and this was his song. So let's play little baby Jesus rap.
Give it up for little baby Jesus!
Yo, let's do this! Coming at you from the mic, it's the LBJ. Here to talk to y'all on my birthday. First some props to my homies, Big and Lil Hamm. The dopest antennas in all the land. Ivan Hrvatska, sexy Croatian. Spreading the love in every nation. And funny man Neil with all his work. Mr. Hamburger knows what goes down at work. And Bobo Jasmine, the heroic monkey. And Hamster Hamby about responsibility. And the three big players from the faraway hoods who come to my crib to lay on the goods. Like gold that I use to make my bling. And myrrh to alleviate my diaper rash sting. Smell of frankincense really helps to relax me. No Canned Ham, is there something you wanna ask me? Surgeons mean nothing when your ma is a virgin. Like that plug Caesar thinks he's living the largest. Bury LBJ in Roman charges. I'm the son of God, the model of perfection. I'm the reason that the calendar changed direction. So listen to my words and forget all the others. Peace out on the earth and goodwill to the brothers. LBJ be in the house. LBJ, that's who. LBJ's in the house. I said LBJ. LBJ's in the house. LBJ be in the house. LBJ, that's who's in the house. LBJ in the house. LBJ is in the house. And it's my birthday. Let's go to Denny's. It's my birthday. Are they open on Christmas?
Yes, we are. And you are listening to CFRO Radio 100.5 FM. And I'm here with Stephen Hamm and Marc Godfrey.
Bad vibes.
Okay, you guys, so bad vibes. And I know you guys don't like Christmas, but are you feeling in the spirit a bit more now after those last couple of songs?
That last one.
I think we need to hear about some of your personal magical Christmas experiences to really get a little bit more.
My personal magical
like,
Christmas
what is your... there must be some inspiration behind the Christmas album.
The
You must have a
Christmas
deep
album?
love
That's
for
true,
Christmas.
because you made a whole Christmas album, so you must really care about this holiday.
I learned to love Christmas canned ham style because over the years we did Christmas shows. The first one was opening up for Flash Bastard and the Black Halos at the Commodore Ballroom way back in 1999, I guess. And it was like there was a Flash Bastard show, and I was like, Pete, Canned Ham's going to open up. And somehow they got us on the bill, and Canned Ham, like
somehow
our second
they
show.
pulled some strings.
They pulled some strings. Basically, Robert and I showed up.
Wow.
And Terry.
Flash Bastard.
Yeah. I know.
You got on the Flash
Hey, that was the one that
Bastard
I got on the Flash Bastard. Well,
Man.
Black Halos had the draw.
Wow, what a career.
I know, right? And then it was all uphill from there.
Right.
So that was our first. And they were, and the Commodore was like, I remember I was living with Pete Bastard, and the guy from the Commodore like called and left a message on the phone, and because I didn't know if I wanted to do this Canned Ham Christmas show, and he left a message on the phone the morning of the show, and it was like, yeah, Pete, this Canned Ham thing, if you want, we can axe them from the bill. And I was like, yeah, right, you're going to axe us from the bill.
What?
I heard the message, and I was like, and then we went on Nardwuar's show. It was a Friday, and it was like I played the message. I was like, we are going to play the Commodore tonight, and we did it, and we played the Commodore.
Billy Hopeless tried to get you axed from
No, not Billy. No, it was like the stage manager of the Commodore.
Oh,
and so,
because after Donald pulled all those strings to get you on the bill?
Yeah, right, yeah. After Donald went to bat for us.
Yeah.
Thanks, Donald.
He made some phone calls.
Yeah, he made some phone calls.
Let me call LA. I'm calling Jimmy Iovine.
And then it sort of just snowballed from there.
Wow.
From the year that when little baby Jesus went up and did his yo-yo tricks in his diaper, the theme from Shaft, I knew we had to do a Christmas show from then until, well, about 10 years ago.
But I'm looking at something. It's like your long love of Christmas.
My long love of Christmas?
It goes back decades now.
Yeah.
Because I'm staring at
a lot of people, Mark, a lot of people are into Halloween. I know you're pretty into Halloween.
Yeah.
But I'm over a Christmas guy.
Really? Because I'm looking at your first band when you were just a teenage tearaway.
Yes.
Was a band called Slow.
Yes.
Now, Slow,
yes,
for some reason here in Canada, has reached. It's turned into this iconic band from the 80s.
I know, weird.
People seem to think it's the greatest Canadian band. You've got books named after you.
I know. It's weird, eh? It's okay. It was a pretty good band.
Yeah. But you guys did a Christmas song.
We did a Christmas song because we were on Zulu Records when Zulu Records used to do albums. And Grant McDonough is a real Christmas guy. He still is.
Right. And I know Tom Anselmi's a real Christmas guy. Tom
loves Christmas. He's really into Christmas. So he was like, and Grant's like, yeah, I want to do a flexi disc with all the all the labels rosters, which at the time was Go for Three, Brilliant Orange, The Enigmas, and Slow. And I want to do a 7-inch flexi disc and give them away in Christmas cards. And so we did. And Tom, who loves Elvis Presley, said, let's do a version of Elvis Presley's Santa Claus is Back in Town. So here's Tom's interpretation.
But this song, too, it's the only song by Slow that Tom likes.
It is the only song by Slow that Tom likes. Yeah, and so we're going to be re-releasing this on the...
but not as Slow, under Tom's name.
Under Tom and Selmy.
Tom and Selmy. So here's
Tom and
Selmy's Santa Claus, version of Santa Claus is Back in Town. Let's check it out.
It's Christmas time, little baby, and the snow is falling down on the ground. Oh, it's winter time, and the snow is falling down. You be a good little girl, Santa Claus is back in town. Got no sleighing reindeer, no sock on my back. You'll see me coming in a big black Cadillac. It's Christmas time, pretty baby, and the snow is coming down. You be a good little girl, Santa Claus is back in town. Pretty stockings, turn out the light. Santa Claus is coming down your chimney late at night. It's Christmas time, baby, and the snow is coming down. You be a good little baby, Santa Claus is back in town.
That was Santa Claus is Back in Town by the legendary Slow, which actually featured Hamm.
And Tom and Selmy, but that fantastic vocal rendition of the Elvis classic Santa Claus is Back in Town.
Yeah,
Tom really wanted to do that one. That's really an important song to him.
So he really is a Elvis fan?
He's a real Elvis fan, and he's a real fan of Christmas. Yeah,
really. I never got Elvis.
Are you guys feeling more Christmassy now?
Yeah,
Vanessa?
I think so.
Yeah. Go all right.
Yeah.
I think we're learning.
Are you learning the magic of Christmas, guys?
I feel like this sugar plum meditation technique.
Oh yeah, we could always end with that. Yeah, where are we at here?
Yeah.
Oh wait.
No, we don't need to end yet. We can talk forever.
Wait, I wanted to ask you after Slow.
Yes.
You were in a band called
Roots Roundup.
No, Tankhog.
Yeah.
Slow hog.
And Tankhog did a wonderful Christmas single. I think it was the Freight Train song.
Oh yes, we did a song called it's about Santa Claus bringing presents to all the children on a freight train.
Yeah. So then I seem to recall you guys put out another on Zulu again.
Yes.
Yeah. Was it Zulu?
It was Zulu Records. Well, the Freight Train song was actually a 45 put out on Mint Records.
All right.
Because we did a Christmas. Before that we did actually Mint Records' very first release was a Christmas release called Mint. The mint is a terrible thing to taste.
Yeah.
Which was Tankhog and Windwalker covering Ministry songs.
Didn't you guys tour with Ministry? Or
we
something?
toured with Skinny Puppy. And we became fans of Ministry while on tour with Skinny Puppy.
I remember some story. You guys were, who was it? You were touring with Skinny Puppy, and you were all dressed in black, and people thought you were Undertakers or something.
Oh, really?
I don't know. Something Bruce was telling me. I totally can't remember the story. But.
We always dressed.
But wait, you guys went. Where did you go with Skinny Puppy?
We we had recorded this album, our only album, with Dave Ogilvy, who was sort of the fourth member at Skinny Puppy, and he said, well, why don't you come on tour with Skinny Puppy, which is kind of an odd pairing, but it was pretty great.
It made sense back in the 90s.
Back in the day, yeah. Skinny Puppy was trying to branch out. We were just trying to like go on tour, and we were offered this tour, and it was a hoot. We went. We started in Montreal with them, or started in Toronto, and we went all down through Florida, and then we went
Chicago.
No, actually, because the first in the Middle East, in the Midwest.
You guys played the Middle East.
We played the Middle East.
Wow.
Yeah. No, we didn't. In the Midwest, they had Babes in Toyland opening for them. Oh. So Babes in Toyland started the tour, and then we picked it up in Toronto, and we took it all down the East Coast into the South, and then through the South up into Texas, into Colorado, and then out into California, and up the West Coast.
So Tankhog wasn't averse to touring like Slow was.
Slow broke up before we really had a chance to tour.
Because you guys went to Toronto once.
We went to Toronto once, and then the band broke down. We're breaking up. This is too much work.
And Tom was like, this is way harder than I thought it was.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I'm just going to move to California and try and...
Right.
Yeah.
So this is your musical life, Stephen Hamm.
Yes, I toured. I then put in all the sweat equity with Tankhog, and Man, so let's hear something.
This is going back to 1992.
Sounds right.
This is Tankhog's Christmas song, Freight Train song. So we were joined here with Stephen Hamm, and I'm kind of like just talking him through his wonderful musical life.
Thank you. I need to be talked through a lot of things these days.
Oh, where were we? We were in Tankhog.
We were in Tankhog.
I think I got to the 90s.
You got to the 90s, yeah.
And Tankhog was your grunge band, I guess.
That was my grunge band.
So tell me. What was the? Could you explain this whole grunge thing to me?
The grunge thing, yeah. Well,
what was that all about?
I have no idea what it was.
Well, I thought you were in.
It's
right
big these days. All the kids are into it again.
Well, yeah. There's a grunge revival.
There's
right?
a grunge revival. Yeah.
Vanessa, is there a grunge revival?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay, maybe there isn't a grunge revival.
I don't have a grunge night. No one's asked me to do a grunge DJ night
I don't
yet.
think station named after a weasel is playing it again, though.
Wasn't that like Mark Arm's idea to get rich was to come up with a type of music and then ride it to stardom? But
right. Did Mark Arm ever get rich?
No, I don't think he still works at Sub Pop, doesn't he?
Right, he still works in a record store.
They got ripped off.
Yes.
They were brilliant.
But so I was just like, okay, but slow.
Yes.
People say that slow started grunge.
Well, I think that the story I like to tell is that our actually slow didn't start grunge, but our mothers started grunge fashion. Because because we had no clothes, so we were all teenagers, and our moms would be like, they don't have any clothes, so they went to the Army and Navy and bought us all what do you call it, Mac jackets, but actually DOA. But anyway, I'm going to keep with my story. Yeah. But I mean, they bought us tartan shirts and stuff because they always had those cheap tartan shirts at the Army Navy, and our moms used to buy them for us. And we went because I remember, speaking of Mark Arm and speaking of grunge, the first time Slow went down to Seattle, we played with Green River, which was the went on to break up, and then members of Green River formed Mudhoney and Mother Love Bone, which then became Pearl Jam.
Oh, wow.
So, and it was what's his name, Jeff and Stone, who were in Pearl Jam. Those guys were wearing I remember going down there, and they were wearing lime green fishnet shirts, spandex and stuff, a la 1980s hair metal that was big at the time. And we went down there in our Mac
clothes.
jackets, and soon after they all changed their clothes. So therefore, I like to say, our moms invented grunge fashion.
Well, I think when Slow came out, you guys, if you look at that album cover, you guys were very anti-fashion.
We were very anti-fashion.
And this is in the height of the 80s when people were doing their hair and...
yes.
Very glammed out.
Yeah, but we were listening to bands like Gun Club and stuff like that, and they were very, Gun Club is the one that really comes to mind, and they had a certain look, and everything was going on in LA that wasn't hair metal. That's what we were kind of looking at. And
I was thinking Black Flag.
Black Flag, yeah. We were really into the Black Flag too. Yeah. And Stevie Wonder.
But definitely there was a sea change there in the 80s where people stopped putting their mohawks up.
Yeah.
And, you could get away with looking, like crap.
Yeah, exactly. And everyone grew their long. Yeah, we all grew our hair long, and we looked like, crap.
And then Kurt Cobain came along and,
and really, solidified it.
Right. And then you had the whole, what was grunge is really American punk finally breaking after 10 years.
Exactly, right? Yeah. And I think Mark, really just, coined that term as sort of let's see what we can, what BS can we feed the media, and it is stuck, that's really what happened, I think.
Okay, well, I think we should listen to us.
Vancouver punk, I like that. I mean,
American punk. That's all good.
Yeah, we were all into American punk. Yeah.
So off that first Slow album, Against the Glass.
Yes.
Which is the song I want to play.
Okay.
Because this is the classic album, the Sea Change album.
The Sea Change album, yes.
Up here in the Pacific Northwest.
Yes.
That influenced Mudhoney and Nirvana.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, although I would be saying Black Flag and bands like that are really the ones that did it.
And you, Stephen Hamm, you were on it.
I was on it. Yeah, I played bass on this damn thing. Yeah.
Okay, so let's listen to this. This is Against the Glass. Radio. That's Teenage Ham.
Yeah.
Against the Glass, the album that kicked off grunge.
Yeah.
And I think we're going to take full credit for it.
Yeah, let's take full credit for kicking
It was
off
a
grunge.
Vancouver thing.
Yeah.
Sorry, Seattle.
Yeah.
On Bad Vibes Co-op Radio 100.5 FM.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. So we got to tell people what they're listening to. That was your job, Vanessa.
No.
So that was Slow. And Slow is, very loved Vancouver band. And what the hell? How did that all break up with Expo '86? What was that?
Oh, I only talk about Expo '86 now. If you pay me, by the way.
Really?
In 2016, I'll only talk
all
about
that people want to talk about?
What's that?
Is that something that an annoying question that people always want to talk about?
It's not annoying. It's just that like whenever someone on CBC or someone's like, "We got to fill some time," like, why don't we call that Ham guy and get him to talk about Expo? Anyhow,
Really?
but that's all right. I'm a bit of a
But that happened so long ago, and people still remember it.
I know, it's weird, isn't it?
I barely remember what was the controversy.
I barely remember
you pulled
it too.
down your pants or something.
No, well, we just played a show at Expo, and we were very drunk, and it was Expo, and it was Vancouver in 1986, and actually Jimmy Sigmund pulled Tom's pants off, and then they cut the power, and then I pulled my own pants off, and it was a big deal back then.
Well, that's like burlesque, right?
Yes, not just burlesque, yeah.
Rock and roll
like
burlesque.
Smelly burlesque, but yeah. But yeah, and so that's really all that happened, and a little bit of comparing the outgoing premier Bill Bennett to Adolf Hitler and stuff like that, in front of 5,000 people. That's not 5,000, but a lot of 2,000 people, stuff like that. That kind of got us into some trouble, and then we went on tour, and then we realized that this rock and roll thing is a vicious game, and we broke up.
What does that light mean?
Someone's trying to call in.
Oh.
No.
Yes.
Oh, no.
No.
It's
Fish and Jim.
Oh, great. Oh, it is. Fish and Jim. He's going to correct your story.
Gonna correct.
Okay, well, let's jump ahead and not talk
calling
about.
in. We got someone on the. Can we talk to someone on the line?
What? No, we can't talk.
I want to talk to people.
Wait,
on
I
the
wanted
line.
to jump ahead and talk about. Hey,
Yeah, did you want to talk to him?
Hey.
It's turning into a talk. This is now turning into a call-in show.
It's my dream.
Wait. Okay, let him on, so that there's not dead air.
Let's see if I can get him on.
Oh,
okay.
Man. Come on.
I guess we've got a caller.
You gotta wear your headphones to hear him.
This better be
a caller. I'm gonna put
better
my
be a good
headphones on.
question, and it better be about canned ham.
Okay.
Hello, you're on the air.
Hey, it's Wade.
Who's Wade?
Long time listener.
Oh, right on.
First time caller.
I saw you down at the Railway Club. I love you. You guys are awesome. You and Robert were a fucking killer.
Oh, thank you,
I was
sir.
just going to say, tonight's the Christmas, before Christmas. No shows, nothing. Where are you going to be?
Me?
Yeah, you.
Oh, well, I'm gonna be making pancakes on the downtown east side on Christmas, but other than that, I'm just hanging out. I'm no Christmas show this year.
Well, you know what? I love you. I love your show.
Thank you.
a lot. You're awesome.
This is the Christmas show. Thanks for calling in, Wade. Merry Christmas.
I'm listening. I'm driving and listening. That's awesome.
Right on. Awesome.
Take care, bro.
Okay,
bye.
Bye.
Cheers. Wow. You have
There you
fans
go.
out there.
I got a friend.
Yeah.
It's worth answering the phone once in a while.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I wanted to ask you. Okay, you're in the Evaporators now.
Yes, I've been playing I've been in the Evaporators for 8 years now.
And I was worried. What's up with Nardwuar? Is he doing all right?
Nard's doing good.
What happened?
What happened?
Yes, I don't know what happened.
Well, okay, I basically what happened is I guess a quarter of the population have holes in their hearts.
What?
Which is weird, hey? Which is sort of thing we have. We have holes in our hearts.
Right.
And Nard has a hole in his heart. He has a big heart, but so he was going to the Mint Records Christmas party at the Astoria a few weeks ago, and I guess there's a little blood clot in the hole in his heart, and it went to his brain and gave him a little bit of a stroke.
Oh my God! So it wasn't a combination of cocaine, ecstasy,
no,
and alcohol.
No, Nard's a teetotaler.
I know.
So luckily he went to the party, and it was a party, and and Randy from Mint was like, "Hi Nard, would you like some cocaine, ecstasy, and gin?" And Nard was like, "Oh, I feel a little faint." And then
it's the first time I've ever done it.
Yeah.
any of those things.
And then they haul him off to the hospital. So thank God he went to but he's going to get it's a day procedure. And but it's scary, and old Nard's doing all right. And I got to check up on him for Christmas. I hope if you're listening, Nard, which you're probably not.
He's in the hospital right now?
No, he's hanging out. He's out.
Good.
He's been out for a while.
Oh,
he's going to go back in February and get day surgery and have the hole in his heart fixed. And then in 2016, we will be releasing a new Evaporators album called Ogopogopunk, in which Nard tries to explain is between Ogopogo and Sid Vicious. There are none, but we decided to write an album about it.
Wow. So it's a concept.
It's a concept,
so
yeah.
I guess we should listen to some Evaporators then.
Sure.
Yeah. Here we go. Maybe.
That's actually that song there is about being like we were just talking about. We're waiting for the next show to come in. Are we on the air or is this dead air?
No,
okay. We're talking about the next show coming on in at 5 o'clock, right? And that song, is about working at CITR, Nardwuar working at CITR, and showing up early to do his radio show, and then the show before him going late. The song's called I Hate Being Late When I'm Early. Well, there you go. Now
you're a natural at this radio thing.
I like this radio thing.
So what have we done? We've talked about Evaporators, Slow,
Tankhog, Canned Ham.
What have I missed?
Canned Ham because you don't like Christmas but you think that Rum and Eggnog is a fine Christmas song.
What are you doing for Christmas there, Ham?
Nothing really. What are you doing?
I thought I was coming over to your place.
I thought I was coming over to your place.
You were gonna have dinner for us, weren't you?
Oh yeah, okay. Well, I'm gonna go to the
So you have no Christmas plans?
I have no Christmas. No, I'm going to go to my brother's and eat tofurkey. What are you doing? What are you guys doing for Christmas?
What are you doing, Vanessa?
What are you doing, Vanessa?
You have a life, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna go up to the Okanagan and see my family.
Nice.
And my boyfriend's gonna meet my family.
Oh, that's gonna be a nice, relaxing Christmas.
Really? You're gonna take him?
Yeah.
Oh. Why don't you take us? These are our friends from the radio. Mom, you got any extra turkey?
Yeah, my grandma would be down. The more the merrier.
Right on.
So wait, okay. So I talked about Slow. I feel like I'm missing something. There's another band in there.
Yeah, there's got to be there's like a decade or something in there.
Yeah. Am I missing a decade?
A I was in so many bands. Canned Ham, Evaporators. What else? JP5. I was in JP5.
Oh, that's right.
I was an originator of that band, but that went into its own. That took many forms after me.
Okay. Well, what's your plan for 2016?
My plan for
what's next for Stephen Hamm?
My plans for 2016. I got to record a band just recently. I've been working at Little Red Sound with Felix Fung, and I'm recording some bands. So
Didn't Felix record your album, Vanessa?
Yeah, he did.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Right on.
Felix is awesome.
Yeah, Felix is awesome, dude. Yeah. I just recorded a band called Viewmaster with John Johnson of Slow Learners. We did that. That was fun. My friend Bruce from Tankhog, Bruce Wilson, or AKA Bruce Kane, and I did an album. I should have brought some of that to play, but called Bruce has got this ridiculously overarching musical project. He's writing a book which he's finishing this. Over the Christmas holidays, he's like sequestered himself away, and he's going to finish this book. And we recorded a bunch of music about the book. And he's also going to do a podcast that's all ties in with the book, and so I'm going to get back into the podcasting world and produce that for him. And
back to podcasting.
Yeah, right, back to podcasting and just doing more music. Yeah, and then of course, as I say, the Evaporators is the Ogopogopunk is coming out, so maybe we might do some Evaporators shows if Nard's up to it.
So this is the year, man.
This is the year where more stuff just happens.
Well, this is the year where
I just get to do stuff. It's sort of like other people have, what are you going to do? It's sort of like the podcast is like, what are we going to do with our lives? It's like, I'm sort of really happy what I'm doing with my life. I'm just sort of doing stuff, isn't it fun? It's what you do. You just sort of do stuff.
I just do. I don't even know why I do it.
Exactly. I have no idea why I'm doing it. What else are you going to do? What are you going to do?
Well, so there you have it.
There you go.
What are you going to do?
Are you guys feeling more in the Christmas spirit now?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
What are you going to do? So our guest today at Bad Vibes was Stephen Hamm, who's played in a lot of wonderful bands in this town, and thank you for coming.
Well, thank you. Thanks for having me, guys. We'll do this again sometime.
Yeah.
I'll play some more bands and we can talk about them.